Hello lovely people, and welcome to your day 18 of our 30-day Flow Pilates challenge. My name is Greta Stewart, and for today's session I have got a full body class planned for you. It is all about our posture as well as building mobility. So for today's class you have the option of adding some ankle weights to your wrists if you have them available. If you don't, you can move through this whole class with body weight. That is completely cool as well. And I'm going to meet you in your 4-point kneel position to warm up through our core. Nice work. Our hands come underneath the line of your shoulders. Your toes are going to tuck behind us. Knees under those hips. We're starting off by taking an inhale breath here. And as we exhale, we're just taking a little hover off with your knees. Beautiful. Inhale, we tap them back down. Exhale to take that lift. Beautiful, team. So just a tiny movement here. Really focus on getting that lift through sucking your belly button up and towards the sky rather than just lifting those knees off the mat. Beautiful. Palms are pressing strong into your mat. We've got a flat back the entire time. Exhale to lift, inhale to tap. Okay, this next time we lift those knees up, let's hold there. You're going to step your right leg back to plank. Left leg follows, right draws in, then the left, and then we tap back down. Other side, left leg leads this time. Nice work, team. Adding that step back each time we hit that bear hover. Focusing on keeping your hips as still as you can through here, really minimizing any sway that you can. Lovely work. One more like this before we add on. Okay, we're going to tap those legs together this time. Can you step those feet out and hold, making sure they're a decent width apart? If it's there for you, you're sweeping your right arm up in front of us. It refines the mat before you step those legs in. Beautiful. Going again. We step out. This time that left arm sweeps up. Beautiful. It sweeps back before we return in. Nice. So just making sure you've got a decent stance with those legs that will help us stay stable as we take that arm sweep. Beautiful, really controlling that sweep, making it nice and slow, seeing if you can hold for a second at the top before we slowly lower that arm back down. Okay, final challenge is here, team, if you wish to take it. We're sweeping that right arm up and holding. If it's there, can you swivel to a side plank, opening your arm to the sky? Nice. We return to plank as arm drops down. We're stepping those legs in. This is our combo. Beautiful. This next time we find that plank, left leg goes long. Swiveling, rotating to that other side now. Back to our plank as arm drops. And we're stepping in. Just giving me 2 more full reps like this, making these as slow and controlled as we can. Beautiful. Last one. Here like this. Awesome work. We're going to step into that bear hover and hold it there all together. Let's step out to our plank. We're just working that arm sweep now. Up and down. We change side. Alternating what arm sweeps forward. Keeping our hips as still as you can, team. This is just us for 5. Exhale to sweep up. Inhale to return. For 4. Beautiful. For 3. Final 2. On 1, we're just meeting in that plank. Last sweep now. Awesome, just holding in the plank. You and your breath. Here for 3. Pressing that mat away for 2. And 1. Knees can lower back down. Pressing back to find that child's pose. Nice work, team. When you're ready, we're rolling on forward. We should be feeling nice and warm to get into today's session now. So we're going to refine that 4-point kneel position. This time your left forearm is going to drop down to your mat. Our right knee is just going to hover off that mat here. Beautiful, hips are square. Inhale, breath, and as we exhale, we're extending that leg behind us. Beautiful. So inhale, it returns. Exhale, you're taking that extension. Starting off super simple here. I want you to think about keeping that head in line with your spine the whole time. Don't let it dip down. And look under our belly. Using that exhale breath to find length, squeezing that right glute at the top. Okay, 3 more before we add on. Beautiful, team. Last one like this. Okay, this next time your leg draws in, let's hold. Back toe tucks on the mat. Inhale, as we exhale, can you fully press up to find a 3-legged dog here? Nice. Inhale, knee drops down onto your mat. So we're adding that press. Exhale, pressing, taking that leg extension, and then drawing back in. Using that strong exhale as we take that drive. Seeing how high we can extend that right leg at the top. Beautiful, team. Just here for 3 before we add on. Nice. 2. All right, last one. This next time, we're going to press up together and hold. Holding as a team. Can you lower that left knee to the mat as your right leg sweeps out to the side? Knee drops onto your mat. Beautiful. Leg sweeps back in line with our hip before it draws back to return. So going again, we press up to that 3-legged dog. Knee lowers as your right leg sweeps to the side. Sweeps back behind before we take that respite at the bottom. Beautiful. So if you need a moment before reps, just to reset, check your form, please do so. I'd rather you guys move through super controlled with beautiful technique than rush through this and just go through heaps of reps. Nice work. Okay. So strong. Just giving me 2 more. Pressing that mat away with that left forearm, making sure we've still got a nice proud chest here. Last full rep like this. Exhale as we lift. Inhale, leg sweeps to the side. Okay, we meet at the bottom. Nice work. Quick moment to reset through those arms if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to finish this off together. Inhale. As we exhale, we're pressing to that 3-legged dog, just getting to work on these presses. Inhale, we find a hover. Exhale, press. Inhale to hover. So if it's there, not dropping that left knee down fully onto that mat, team. Beautiful. Keeping that hover, staying active through our core. Here for 4. Here for 3. Beautiful. For 2. All right, last press up. Keeping that leg high. Left knee drops on the mat. Resetting. Nice. We're rainbowing that leg to the side. Exhale, sweeps behind us. Beautiful. Inhale to the side. Exhale, up and back. To the side and straight back. I want you to imagine that we're drawing one side of an X team. Nice work. Keeping that strong diagonal sweep as we extend it back. Here, just for 4. Nice, for 3. 2. Beautiful. On 1, we're going to sweep it forward together, holding it there. Final push. We're just pulsing that leg up and up. Beautiful. You guys are nearly there. Super strong for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, we pulse up and lower down. Nice, nice work. Rolling on up, taking a well-deserved shoulder roll here, team. Nice work. Hands come down. You can press back to find a down dog, pedaling out through your feet. Nice. All right. We're going to roll on forward now, drawing that left foot between those hands and then rising on up to find standing. Beautiful. We're going for a lunge series. Hands come on your hips. Left foot plants in the middle of your mat. We're on the ball of our right foot, team. Shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Inhaling. We're stepping that right leg back and down to find our curtsy lunge. Exhale to press up. So inhale, we curtsy lunge, and then we drive on up. So for that curtsy lunge, you're not stepping that foot directly back behind us. It's sending way more over to that left-hand side. We've got a slight little offset position with those hips. Your hips should be more open towards that right. Nice. We're gonna add on here, team. Just give me 2 more like this, getting used to this movement pattern. Last one here. Okay, this next time we rise, let's hold. Fingertips come to your temples. If it's there, we're sweeping those arms up as we sink low, and then they return to your temples. Beautiful. Adding this arm sweep. Nice work, team. Seeing if we can still tap that back right knee on the mat each time. Beautiful. Nice range here. Keeping that chest relatively upright. Awesome. Fully lengthening through those arms at the bottom. Nice work. How straight can we get those fingers up towards that sky? Okay, this next time as we rise, option here to hover that right leg off the mat. It sweeps down in front of us. Beautiful. We take an opener out with that leg before we sink low to that lunge. Nice. Going again. We circle that knee around and up. Circles back before we lunge. Nice. A little bit of an added balance challenge. A nice opener for those hips as well, team. Since today is all around posture and mobility, I want you guys to focus on keeping that chest proud even more. So I want your shoulders to be pinching together here. Beautiful. They're rolled back and down in our pockets. Just give me 3 more nice and slow ones like this. Nice work. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Last one before we finish off this side as a team. Okay, all together, we're finding that curtsy lunge. You're holding there with your arms up. We're just pulsing up and down, staying in this lunge, working nice and slow and controlled. Bottom ranges. Beautiful. Here for 6. Here for 5. Nice work, team. For 4. We don't lift up on 1. For 3. 2. Nice work. On 1. We just lift up to halfway. Can you lengthen out through your back leg, hinging your chest forward? We've just got a sweep back with that right arm. Beautiful. It sweeps back forward. We sweep that arm back and forward. Final push for the side team here for 4. Slowing it down for 3, 2. All right, on 1, we sweep that arm back forward. You're holding there, super straight, beautiful long line for 3, 2, and 1. We drive on up, taking a forward fold over those legs. Nice work, letting that head hang heavy here. Bending through that right knee, you can just open that left arm up to that sky. Nice, hand comes down, swapping it on over, opening that right arm up. Okay, and when you're ready, hands find that mat, and we're stepping those legs back to find a plank position. Straight into it, team. Tailbones tucked here. We've got that straight line from our head, neck, all the way down to our ankle bones. Inhale. As you take that exhale, we're piking those hips up high to the sky. Inhale, we roll back forward. Beautiful. Exhale as we lift. Inhale to pull and roll back. Nice work. Keeping up high on the ball of our feet here. Wanting as much pressure tracking through the palms of our hands as we can, especially when we hit our plank. 2 more like this. Last one. All right, this next time you roll forward to that plank, let's hold. Can you swivel open, opening that right top arm to find our side plank? Nice. Hand comes back down to touch your mat before we pike those hips. Beautiful. This is our little combo, 1 pike to 1 side plank. Beautiful, nice team. Moving nice and slow. Each time you find that side plank, holding for a second, lifting up through that bottom side waist before you close back down. All right, we're gonna add on after this last side plank like this. This next time we're gonna pike those hips. Can we tap that left ankle with our right hand? We draw back forward before we open to that side plank. Nice work. You're adding that ankle tuck. Right hand to left ankle. Pulling forward before you open up. Nice work, team. You guys are so strong. Staying with me. Just here for 3 more. Beautiful. Final 2. How's that bottom left shoulder feeling? Last rep before we meet in that side plank. All together, we're opening out, we're holding there. We're bending through those legs as arm sweeps down. Exhale as we drive up. Beautiful. Inhale, we bend. Exhale, we return up. This is just you for 5 and a hold, and you are done here for 4. Nice work, team, for 3. Last 2. All right, you know the drill, team. Last rep, we pull forward to that side plank. You hold here for 3, 2, and on 1. Lowering back down. Nice work. We can just thread that left hand down and under, looking over that, under that right armpit there. If you want a slightly deeper stretch, we can wrap that top right arm around and across our side waist. Think about rotating that right shoulder a little bit more up towards that sky. Nice work, team. Just coming on out of it. We have got all that good stuff on the other side. So nice, take a sip of water if you need to, team. Pep ourselves up, and we're just gonna flip on round on your mat. Nice work, setting up for that three-legged dog series. So this time our right forearm's coming down to your mat. We're hovering that left knee off as we take that inhale, and as we exhale, we're just extending it back behind us. Beautiful. Inhale, it draws in. Exhale, we take that lengthen. Nice work. So taking these first few reps just to tune into your breath. Beautiful. So exhaling on that effort phase as we extend, giving that left glute a good squeeze at the top as we do so. Nice, just give me 3 more before we add on. Exhale, press. Inhale to draw in. Last 2. Beautiful. Here like this for 1 more. All right, this next time we draw that knee in, we're tucking through that right toe. We're adding that press to three-legged dog. Inhale as you exhale, pressing those hips up, lengthening through that leg. Inhale to draw back in. Exhale as we find that press. Inhale to return. So as we take that press, your gaze should look down towards that right ankle, team, pressing that right forearm down and away from that mat to help lift us off. Awesome work. Just here for 3 more before we add on. Making these nice and slow and controlled. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Last one. Okay, on this next one, we're adding that arm sweep combo. So we're gonna press up together, holding there, lowering our right leg to the mat as our left sweeps out towards the side. Beautiful. Our knee taps before that left sweeps back through center and draws back in, going again. Exhale as we press. Inhale, lowering the knee. Left leg sweeps out. Sweeps back out behind us before it returns back. Lovely work, team. Focusing on that control here, just like we did for the other side. It's about that quality of movement, focusing on that really nice slow draw to that side sweep. Squeezing our glute as it sweeps back. Beautiful. Don't let those shoulders start to sink and sag into that right arm, forearm that's on the mat. Nice work. We've just got 2 more like this before that rabbit hole. Exhale to press up. Inhale, exhale, and inhale to return. Last rep. Awesome. We're going to meet back in with that left knee hovering off your mat. Quick reset. If you need to, we're finishing off the side together. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're just getting to work on that press. And draw back in, nice. Exhale, we lift. Inhale to return. If it's there, you're just hovering that right knee off the mat, taking off that respite at the bottom. Beautiful, this is you. Here for 4 more. Nice work, team. Giving me 3 now. Exhale, press. Inhale to return for 2. Nice work. On 1, we lengthen out, we hold. We lower that back right knee to the mat. Beautiful, we're just sweeping that leg out to the side now and back behind us. Beautiful. Sweeps to the side and back. We're imagining we're drawing that side of that X So really sweeping it up and across on that diagonal. Beautiful, team. Just here for 5. Inhale as it draws out to the side. Exhale as it sweeps back. Here for 3. Beautiful. Final 2. All right, on 1, it sweeps to that side. We hold, toes point down. We're just pulsing it out. We pulse up and up with that left foot, pressing that mat away with your right forearm. We're just here for our final 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling back. Come finding that seated position on your heels, taking that well-deserved shoulder roll. Nice work, team. And just rolling them back in the other direction. Beautiful. Hands can find that mat, pressing to find that downward dog, taking that nice pedal out with those feet. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna step our right foot this time through our hands. Nice work, team. Rising on up and stepping up to find our standing position. Hands are on your hips. Beautiful. Rolling those shoulders back and down. We're on the ball of that left foot this time. Nice work. Inhaling, we're stepping that back leg down as we sink low to find that curtsy lunge. And then exhale as we press up. Beautiful. So starting off nice and simple, working this curtsy lunge on the other side. Nice work. So your toes should be pointing directly to the front of your mat, but your hips are open towards that left, team. Nice work. Just giving me 3 more before we add on. Nice work. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press. Last one like this. All right. This next time your fingers come to your temples, we're sweeping them up as we find that lunge. Exhale, we draw up. Beautiful. Adding those arms. Nice work. I want you to think about sending those elbows wide, opening up through your chest as we rise on up, squeezing those shoulder blades back and down at the top. Beautiful. This is a great one for that posture when we properly engage through that upper back, team. Just here for 3 before we add that final progression. Here for 2. Beautiful. All right. This next one, we sink down low. We press up. We hover that back leg. Sends it out to the side as we circle it around and forward. Beautiful. It circles back before we sink down to that lunge. Beautiful. We're adding that hip opener and that balance challenge at the top. Nice, team. If your balance isn't here today, it's not liking this, obviously just ditch it. Keep working those lunge step backs. Nice work. Otherwise, we're just here for 4 more, team. Lengthening those arms nice and high at the bottom. We're moving through our final 2 now. Last one, like this. Beautiful. We meet at the top, taking that last hip opener. As a team, we're stepping back, finding that lunge and holding. We're just working that bottom range up and back down. Beautiful. Nice and slow and controlled. Your arms are fully extending up towards that sky. Regression is just to bring them to your hips. Otherwise, we're here for 6. Beautiful. For 5. Nice and slow. For 4. 3. Beautiful. We don't lift off on 1. Here for 2. On 1, we pulse up to halfway. You hold. We hinge forward at that chest. Our left arm sweeps back now. It sweeps back up to meet the right. Just working this arm sweep, holding in this lunge. Our back leg is nice and straight here. We're just here for our final 5 and a hold. Here for 4, beautiful, for 3, 2, last one. We sweep those arms forward, they hold there, lift them up a little bit higher. Here for 3, 2, and on 1, releasing those arms. Nice work, hinging that, taking a forward fold with that chest, letting that head hang heavy. Nice work. Just taking those sweeps again, so bending through that left knee, opening that right arm up towards that sky. And swapping it on over. Nice work. All right, your hands are gonna come down onto that mat, team. We're stepping both of those feet back to find that plank position. Beautiful, pressing that mat away with your palms. You're squeezing those glutes. Nice work, we're nice and active here. Inhaling, and as we exhale, we're piking those hips up high. Beautiful. Inhale, we pull and roll forward. Exhale, hips go high. Nice work. Just working this pike, staying on the ball of our feet. Nice work. Your legs stay completely straight as we send those hips up to that sky. Focusing on that nice slow rolling motion as we move from the top of that pike into our plank. Okay, we're gonna add on after this next one. We take that pike with those hips, we pull forward to your plank and hold. We're adding that side plank. We're opening that left top arm up towards that sky. Beautiful. It taps back down onto your mat before we take our next pike. So 1 pike to 1 side plank here, team. Nice work. Moving nice and slowly, thinking about hitting each part of this movement. Especially when in that side plank, you're lifting through our side body. Nice. Finding that little arch and rainbow through that right oblique. Okay. Last one like this before we got that final option for progression here. Beautiful. All right, this next time, as you pike those hips, option to tap that right ankle. Beautiful. We pull forward before we open to that side plank. So left hand touches that right ankle each time in that pike. You guys are so strong. Staying with me, just giving me 3 more like this. Lovely work. Final 2. Awesome. Last pike now. We all meet in your side plank. Beautiful. Nice. Holding here. We're bending down to meet those ankles as arm sweeps down. And then exhale to pull forward. Beautiful. So inhale, we bend. Exhale, we're drawing back up. This is just us for 5, team. And a hold. You guys are smashing it. Here for 4. Nice and slow for 3. Lifting through that side body. Final 2 now. All right, on 1, we're pulling forward. You and your breath, you're holding in the side plank, lifting those hips a little bit more. Here for 3, 2, and on 1, lowering back down. Nice work. This time you can thread that right arm under, taking that thread the needle, and then option to sweep that left arm round and across, wrapping it around your waist, opening that left shoulder a little bit more up towards that sky. Okay, we've got 1 super speedy finisher. So when you're ready, we're gonna come lying down on our bellies. Beautiful. Your fingertips are gonna come to your temples, lowering your chest down. Beautiful. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're gonna lift the head and chest off that mat. Beautiful. And then inhale, return back down. So your legs stay grounded for the moment. It's just that chest lifting, and we lower. So it's just a small movement here, team. Letting that gaze stay just down to that mat the whole time. I don't want you to see arching through that neck and putting any load in that lower back. If you do feel any pressure through your lower back, just reduce that range. Make sure you're looking down to that mat. Beautiful. Okay, this next time we lift, can you lift your legs off that mat as well? Nice work. Inhale, everything lowers. Exhale, we take that lift. Inhale, we return. So this is a great one for our back and posterior chain. So opens us up through our shoulders. Nice work, team. Okay, this next time you take that lift, if it's there, can we hold at the top? Can you open those arms out wide to a T? Nice, they re-find your temples before we lower back down. So you lift, you're adding that T. Nice work. Just giving me 4 more like this. Thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades together as we open those arms out at the top. Seeing how high we can keep that chest off that mat. Last 2 now. Is your upper back feeling it? Mine sure is. Last one. Okay, we all meet down after this rep, holding at the bottom. Nice, quick moment here if you need it. Otherwise, final push of class. Let's all lift that chest and hold. Option to lift those legs too. We're opening up through those arms to find a T. You're just dipping that left arm to that mat as we twist towards the right. Nice, right arm dips as we twist towards that left. Just working these airplanes here, keeping those legs off that mat if you can. Just here for 4. Here for 3. 2. On when we return through center. Fingers come to your temples. We just flutter kicking out with your legs. Final count now for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands can come down. Pressing up to find that last downward dog of class. Pressing those heels down towards your mat, lengthening out through those arms. Letting that breath return to normal. And we can start by rolling our spine forward to find our plank, either dropping those knees here or staying up as we send that chest down towards the mat and roll forward to find your upward facing dog here. Nice work, your gaze lifts. Just looking back over our left shoulder now as your right shoulder pulls forward. Enjoying that twist. And swapping it on over, looking over that right shoulder now. Okay, when you're ready, just rolling up, wiggling on round to face me. We're just finishing class as always with one last deep breath. So inhale, we're sweeping those arms up, filling up your belly and lungs and on your side waist with good air and energy. And as you exhale, sweeping those arms down. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'd love to hear any comments or feedback down below. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.